Robin Maynard, Maynard.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Maynard, how are you employed?
I'm the founder and executive director of Libby's Legacy Breast Cancer Foundation.
And back in 2008, how were you so employed?
I was a crime scene investigator with the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. And you were the person that actually collected an item of evidence 313 in this state's evidence 313. May I show you a photograph of that?
Of course.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Do you recognize that item, ma'am?
I do.
Okay, can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what that item is?
It is a cardboard mat with a pink heart-shaped raised material.
May I publish a copy of that to the jury as well?
You may. Exhibit number what?
313?
All right.
The photograph is.
The photograph.
Oh, the
I
photo.
have no objection. The actual item is, but that photograph, it needs to get a separate number.
I think the photograph does have a separate number, if I can. Defense Exhibit W.
Okay.
No objection to its introduction, Your Honor.
You want to introduce it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it'll be introduced as defense numbered.
Ma'am, when you collect an item of evidence like that, what do you do to record where you found it and a description of it?
I was in charge of the sifting operations, and that's quite different than how we would normally collect something because they're coming in, items were coming to the sifting stations in buckets. So for example, a map couldn't be made in the primary search area of items I found because we only had a baseline measurement. So as buckets would come to the sifting stations, they would have the searcher's initials, the lane number, and the coordinates for where that item was. We would sift, and when an item of evidentiary value or items to be collected were collected, I would photograph the item, note on the bucket where it came from, which would indicate to me lane, coordinate, and tell me how many feet that was.
Okay. And what lane was this found in?
This item appears to be from lane 6.
Okay. And how many feet from the baseline was it?
I have here in my marker that it was 45 feet west of the baseline.
Your Honor, I'd like to publish Defense Exhibit AT and introduce this with conditions from the state, and I have stipulated that it is not to scale. Is that correct? But it is not to scale, but it's still like.
What says the state?
No objection with that stipulation.
Okay, you will be received in evidence as.
Defense Exhibit number 17.
You wish to publish?
Yes, I do, Judge. I apologize. My apologies. Was everyone, did the jury see the last photograph?
No.
My fault, Your Honor. I apologize. Can I publish?
Put the
that
last
first?
one back up. Which is what?
This is 16, Defense 16.
Okay.
W?
I think this thing is breathing. Oh, perfect. Okay. Now, can you indicate to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury where you indicate that it's lane 6, 45 feet from the baseline? Okay. Can everyone see that? Okay. Okay. Now, at this time, Your Honor, I'd like to publish Defense Exhibit AT, which will be admitted into evidence as Defense 17.
You may.
Can you show the ladies and gentlemen of the jury where lane 6 is? And can you show the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, let me clear this out. Where 45 feet from the baseline would be, and lane 6. Okay. And taking into consideration this is not to scale, where are the areas where the bones were found?
The areas where bones were found in the sifting, there are other items that are not here. The bones that were found through sifting only, this is not in the primary search area, are indicated in a general way where it says bone location. It can't be exact because it came from a bucket that was sifted in a general area that was specific to about 5 to 10 feet.
Okay. And that's what's indicated in the white dots?
Correct.
Okay. And is it fair to say that this is just a general, you're not pointing one bone was found at each dot, correct?
No, those are each bones. I believe there were 13 bones that were found in sifting. Okay. So based on the lane coordinates, I did a general map when bones were found, and I would collect them where they were located based on the coordinates on the bucket.
Do you know if any bones were found in this area here?
I believe there was a bone found in lane 6, and I'm not certain how many feet west of the baseline that it was.
Okay. Yeah, I have no further questions for this witness, Judge.
Cross-examinations.
No questions on cross, Your Honor.
May the witness be excused.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You may be excused.
Thank you.
It's Ronald Murdock, M-U-R-D-O-C-K.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Murdock, how are you so employed?
I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office as a supervisor in the forensics unit.
I'm going to ask, you had previously demonstrated that you had drawn up a mapping system through a map through a software system. Can you open that up and because I'm going to ask you to demonstrate something if you can.
Yes. Would you like me to hook it up as well?
Yes, please.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Can you draw I realize you don't have the exact spot to where the heart shape sticker on the cardboard that was attached was found, but from lane 6, 45 feet from the baseline, can you tell us how far that is from area A where the skull was found?
So 45 feet from the baseline?
Yes. Lane 6. Okay, can we publish, Your Honor, to the jury?
No. I mean, I'll plug it all in the back?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, It's not up on the screen.
The input.
There we go.
Okay. You
Okay.
wanted to publish, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you see it, members of the jury? Okay.
And how far is the distance from the skull area to where 45 feet from the baseline lane 6 is?
It's approximately 30 feet. Again, that's basing that upon the middle of lane 6 and the approximation of the area in which that was taken, that heart-shaped sticker and that piece of cardboard.
Okay. And how far would you say Q63 and 64, the two pieces of duct tape, were away from the skull area? You don't have a measurement like that, or would you say?
Are those the two items that were on the diagram as duct tapes 2 and 3?
Correct.
Okay, I can bring those up if.
I object, that's inaccurate.
Are you? So the best that you can give as far as an estimate as to where the sticker found was compared to where the skull was found is 30 feet away.
Yes.
Okay. Can I have you, for the record, mark and give an indication of an X on State's Evidence 279? May I approach?
Right.
No objection.
There.
And what is it that you want me to mark, this location?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I have no further questions for the witness, Judge.
No problem, Senator.
May the witness be excused.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please retrieve the exhibit.
My name is Jennifer Welch, W-E-L-C-H.
Your Honor, prior to this witness testifying, both the defense and the state have entered into a stipulation as to defense exhibit AS, AR, AQ, AP, AO, AN, AM, and AL to admit them into evidence.
What says the state?
That's correct, I have no objection to their admission.
Then those exhibits will be received in evidence as defense exhibits.
AS will become defense exhibit number 18, AR will become defense exhibit number 19, AQ will become defense exhibit number 20, AP will become defense exhibit number 21, AO will become defense exhibit number 22, AN will become defense exhibit number 23, AM will become defense exhibit number 24, and AL will become defense exhibit number 25.
Good afternoon, Ms. Welch.
Good afternoon.
You were in charge of documenting the scene off Suburban Drive, were you not?
Yes, I was.
And were there a large number of items that appeared to be disposable waste in that area?
Yes, there were.
Okay. Summed it up, without getting too technical, would you consider it trash?
Yes, some of them were.
Okay. And were a lot of these items collected?
Yes.
Okay. I believe you testified previously that there were over 300 items collected?
Yes.
Okay. And did there ever reach a point where you just stopped collecting trash?
I recall there were some large items, but I don't recall at what point that was.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with the different lanes and the setup as far as the measurements from the baseline?
Yes.
Can you tell me if there were any bones found past lane 6, 45 feet from the baseline.
May I refer to my documentation?
Absolutely.
I'm having to refer to a printed diagram, and in referring to that, there does not appear to be any bones collected past that location you stated.
And I'd like to show you some photographs, with the court's permission, of different items of trash and see if you would characterize this as some of the items that were collected.
Okay.
May I publish, Your Honor?
Yes, please refer to them by the exhibit.
Yes, sir. Defense Exhibit AM.
Have they been remarked?
Okay.
If you hand them to the clerk so she can remark them.
Yes, sir.
Did you select that?
Does that appear to be, I'm showing you defense evidence 24. Does that appear to be generally what was collected through the area, through the sifting area off Suburban Drive?
I don't recall this being found through sifting, but I recall it being found through searching and clearing of the vegetation.
Okay. Were any of these items submitted to the lab for further testing?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Now showing you defense 25. Does this also appear to be certain items that were collected?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know if any of these items were sent to the lab for further testing?
Not that I recall.
Actually, let me stop you there. Can you identify what lane this was in based on the photograph?
Yes. As can be seen in the photograph on a card that I had written, these are miscellaneous items collected from lane 4.
Okay. And I'm now going to show you Exhibit 23. And does this look like items that were collected?
Yes, it does.
And were any of these items sent to the lab for further testing?
Not that I recall.
And what lane did these come from?
As indicated in the photograph on the card, they are miscellaneous items collected from lane 1.
And to put it in perspective, I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 17 again. Would lane 1 be this area here, this lane?
Yes, as indicated on that diagram, yes.
Okay. And lane 4 would also be indicated there in that diagram?
Yes, it would.
Okay. I'm going to show you now Defense Exhibit 21. Were these items collected?
Yes, they were.
And were any of these items sent to the lab?
Not that I recall.
And what lane were they found off of?
As indicated in the photograph on the card, they're miscellaneous items found in lane 3.
And could you just point really quick on the prompter where lane 3 is?
Yes.
Okay. I'm now showing you Defense Exhibit 20. Were these items collected? Let me
Yeah.
turn it upside down. And were any of these items sent to the laboratory?
Not that I can recall.
And what lane were these collected from?
As indicated in the photograph on the card, they are miscellaneous items from lane 3.
Can you indicate briefly where that is? I'm now showing you Defense Exhibit 19. Do these appear to be items that were collected?
Yes.
And can you make out what lane those were found at?
Not in this photograph.
Neither can I, so I'll move that out. And now I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 18. Were these items collected?
Yes, they were.
And were any of these items sent to the lab for analysis?
Not that I recall.
And where does it say this was found?
I can't quite read it in the photograph.
Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Can you make that out now?
Yes.
Okay, where was that collected?
According to the card in the photograph, as indicated here, they're miscellaneous items from the clearing area east of the wooden fence.
Okay, and where just generally would that be located? From here, if you can just point in the general direction.
Yes, the general direction of the wooden fence would be along this side. I don't recall exactly what lanes it would have matched up with.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness, Judge.
Cross-examination?
Just one question.
Investigator Welch, would it be fair to characterize the area where Caylee Marie Anthony's remains were discarded as a trash dump?
Yes, that's what I would classify it as.
May the witness be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Investigator Welch. You may be excused, ma'am.
Thank you.